Why your body feels weak after 60 is rarely just getting older. In my clinic, I hear that phrase every week. Doctor, I'm just getting weaker. And almost every time, what people call weakness is actually a mix of very specific changes happening in muscle, nerves, blood flow, inflammation, sleep, and even medications. My name is Dr. Joseph Butler, and I want to explain what's really going on, clearly, calmly, and in a way that gives you control again. Let's start with the truth most people don't hear. After 60, your body becomes less forgiving. Not because you're failing, but because your built-in reserves get smaller. In your 30s or 40s, you can sleep poorly for a week, eat badly for a few days, skip movement, feel stress constantly, and your body often compensates. After 60, those same habits don't just make you feel off. They can turn into real, measurable decline. And the scary part is that it's usually quiet at first. You don't collapse. You just start noticing little things. Standing up feels heavier, stairs feel steeper, grocery bags feel louder in your hands, and your legs feel like they run out of power sooner than they used to. One of the biggest reasons is something called sarcopenia, age-related loss of muscle mass, and, even more importantly, muscle strength and power. Many people think muscle loss means I look smaller. But sarcopenia often shows up as function loss first. Slower walking, weaker grip, less stability, more effort just to do normal tasks. Research describes sarcopenia as a major driver of mobility loss, falls, and reduced independence. What makes this worse is that after 60, the decline can accelerate if you're not actively telling your muscles, stay. And the body is brutally efficient. If a muscle isn't demanded, it's gradually removed. Here's what most people miss. Weakness after 60 isn't just about the muscle fiber. It's also about the connection between your nerves and your muscles. With age, the neuromuscular system changes. Motor units remodel, and the signal from nerve to muscle can become less precise. That can make you feel unsteady, slower, or weaker, even if you haven't lost a dramatic amount of weight. This is why some people say, I'm not tired, I just feel like my body doesn't respond the same. Now add a second layer, chronic low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging. This isn't the kind of inflammation you feel like a sore throat. It's a quiet, systemic inflammatory state that becomes more common with age and is linked to frailty, sarcopenia, mobility disability, and multiple chronic diseases. Inflammaging can make recovery slower, muscles more resistant to building, and energy levels lower. Think of it like a dimmer switch turned down slightly across your entire body. Strength, motivation, repair, immune response. You can still function, but everything costs more. This is why two people can be the same age, but one feels powerful and steady, while the other feels fragile and weak. It's not luck. It's physiology, plus habits, plus medical factors, many of which are reversible or improvable. Let's talk about the medical causes that doctors do talk about, but often don't connect into one clear explanation. Anemia is one of them. When you don't have enough healthy red blood cells, or they aren't working properly, your tissues receive less oxygen. The result? Tiredness and weakness. And anemia can be tied to many conditions that become more common with age, including chronic inflammation and kidney disease. If you feel weak and short of breath with simple effort, or you feel like your stamina disappeared, this is one of the first things a clinician should evaluate. Vitamin B12 is another big one. B12 deficiency can show up as weakness, numbness, or tingling, balance problems, and even thinking changes, because it affects nerves and blood. I've seen patients blame aging for months when the real issue was a correctable deficiency or absorption problem. And here's the part that matters. Nerve-related weakness can feel like, my legs are unreliable, my feet don't lift the way they used to, or I feel unsteady in the dark. It's not always pain. Sometimes it's simply loss of signal clarity. Sleep is another underestimated driver. After 60, poor sleep doesn't just make you sleepy. It disturbs hormones that regulate appetite, inflammation, mood, blood pressure, and muscle recovery. When sleep quality drops, strength training results drop, balance gets worse, and fatigue becomes a daily baseline. And fatigue itself, persistent fatigue, is often linked to multiple causes that deserve evaluation, from lifestyle factors and depression to medical conditions. Then there are medications. This is delicate but important. As we age, how we metabolize medications can change, and combining multiple medications can increase side effects like dizziness, low blood pressure, fatigue, confusion, and muscle weakness. I'm not saying medications are bad. I'm saying they must be reviewed with wisdom, especially if weakness appeared gradually after changes in prescriptions. Hydration and nutrition matter more than most people believe. Many older adults don't feel thirst as strongly, so they drink less. Dehydration can worsen dizziness, fatigue, constipation, and overall weakness. Meanwhile, low-protein intake accelerates muscle loss. If your body doesn't get enough building material, it can't maintain the strength you want. And ultra-processed foods can worsen inflammation, making the whole system heavier. But here is the most rarely explained part. Weakness after 60 is often a chain reaction. It begins with less movement. Less movement leads to muscle loss. Muscle loss leads to lower stability. Lower stability leads to fear of falling. Fear of falling leads to even less movement. Meanwhile, sleep gets worse, inflammation rises, and confidence drops. Suddenly, the weakness feels like a mystery, when it's actually a predictable cycle. The reason I'm being so direct is because the solution is not complicated, but it must be consistent. If you want your body to feel strong after 60, you must send your body a clear message. We still need strength. The science and geriatric guidance consistently point to resistance training as a key tool to slow or reverse functional decline, because it directly targets the root problem, age-related loss of muscle and strength. And no, it doesn't mean becoming a bodybuilder. It means giving your muscles a reason to stay. You also need daily movement that protects circulation and balance. Your body learns what you repeat. If you repeat sitting, your body becomes good at sitting. If you repeat standing, walking, carrying, squatting safely, and reaching, your body stays good at living. And if weakness is new, worsening, or paired with symptoms like chest pain, fainting, severe shortness of breath, new numbness, frequent falls, or rapid weight loss, please don't wait it out. That's not fear. That's common sense. Those are signals that deserve medical attention. Now, I want to shift from explanation to empowerment, because the goal is not to scare you. The goal is to give you your power back. If you're over 60 and you feel weak, start by changing the question. Don't ask, "Is this normal?" Ask, "What is my body trying to tell me?" Because weakness is rarely random. It's usually information. Information about muscle, oxygen delivery, nerves, sleep, inflammation, hydration, nutrition, stress, or medication effects. And when you treat it as information, not a life sentence, you change the story. This is what I want for you. Not just a longer life, but a stronger life. The kind of strength that lets you travel, play with grandchildren, do your shopping without fear, climb stairs without bargaining with your knees, and wake up with a body that feels like it belongs to you. And before we finish, remember this. You are not alone. Healthy aging is not about perfection. It's about doing a few important things consistently and avoiding the silent mistakes that steal your strength. If this helped you, I'd love to invite you to join our community. You can subscribe to the channel for free by clicking the link below, and you'll be part of a group of people who are learning how to stay strong, steady, and independent after 60.
Join us on Healthcare Seniors.
Amen. Be part of our community and watch the next video.